So Jigglypuff, the balloon, the pink ball, the most hated character in all of Melee, besides maybe Samus. It is a fun character to play. Jigglypuff is fun. Um, as much as playing Fox over all the years I played Fox, all the years I played Marth was fun. Playing Puff is very fun. I enjoy playing her. These videos are meant to do two things. One, to be a way for me to vent my thoughts, to kind of put them to paper and really put them to the test and see if I can explain them well. But also, if I'm having these thoughts and they're really useful to people, I want other people to hear them and know them. And I want them to be searchable on the internet, because having a bunch of stuff in Discord in isolated pockets, it's highly non-searchable. And, half the time when people want to see a video of a new way to learn Melee, they don't have the access to that for Puff. There's like a video from 10 years ago by Kira, which isn't bad. It's not bad by any means, but at the same time, it's one of those things where you kind of have to guess at where some of this information lives. And if you're not savvy enough to get into the Discord, if you're not savvy enough to get into the old Reddit or Facebook threads from back in the day where we used to talk about this, it can be so challenging to find information about Puff. And so I want to start by keeping it simple. This isn't going to be like a ton of new information for most people that have been playing the game for a couple years. But I think that if you've only been playing the game for a couple of years, or you've only been playing Puff for a while, like you switch characters to Puff, I want to say something useful to you while also putting my thoughts to paper. And the truth is, when you're starting to play the game as Jigglypuff, your movement is everything. Your movement is everything. Your punish game is very natural, right? Learning how to up throw rest Spaceys, or to CC rest Sheik, Marth, and Falcon. How to up tilt rest every top 10 character in the game except yourself. That's all very powerful. It's very simple, but it's not going to give you progress. And I think I want to start there. You'll progress in some ways. Like, you may get a little bit deeper into bracket if you go to tournaments, whether online or in person. You may get a little bit deeper into bracket fast because you have the fundamentals down so well that, the saying goes, if you win one set at a tournament, you're better than half the people. You may get there fairly quickly with just a very simple execution of a very simple punish. But if your movement isn't on point, if your dynamics aren't on point, you'll be an 0-2 or a 1-2 or way longer than you have to be. And I think that dissuades a lot of people from playing Melee outright. And I think it also dissuades a lot of people from playing the game as Jigglypuff outright. People will switch characters because they can't quite get past this, because they're like, well, I'm getting my up throw rest when I get them, and I'm getting my up tilt rest when I get them. Maybe I edge guard people occasionally. Well, what's screwing me up? And this is actually something that I had to learn fairly recently. And it's something that I still to this day am trying to get over. And I want other people to learn from my mistakes and from the mistakes of so many other people that have played the game this way for so long. You can't react to everything as Jigglypuff. You can't really react to anything as any character in Melee. You can't actually do that. And, you say that phrase to somebody, they're like, yeah, that makes sense. I already know that. What's the big deal? Well, the problem is that most people who are at or below my level, we all have this idea in our heads at some point that, well, we're not trying to react to everything, right? But in reality, a lot of our game plans and a lot of our strategy revolves around waiting for our opponent to mess up and then punishing it. With punishing and prediction confirmation are basically what that's called hard reads in some cases, where you're kind of just guessing at what your opponent's going to do to punish them. But you're waiting for them to mess up. You're waiting for them to do a thing that is going to get them killed. And against players that are like pretty good at the game, against PR level players, against players that have a lot of explosive dynamic movement, who have a really good punish and who understand neutral really deeply, they're not going to give you that stuff. They may give you something occasionally, and you need to be able to take those things that they give you. but it's going to be so much less frequent. And what they're going to do instead, and this is where I'm at right now. This is what I'm trying to work into my game. I'm not particularly good at it yet, but it's something that I'm really grinding super hard on. It's the idea of risk reward. Puff is the risk reward character in a lot of situations. If I'm at 53% as Jigglypuff, I don't want to land in front of Fox. Whether I'm on FD, whether I'm on Battlefield, Yoshi's, doesn't matter. I do not want to land in front of Fox. Why? Because he's going to kill me. He's going to grab me. He's going to up throw me. He's going to up air me. And that is so difficult to react to. You're basically going to have to read a defensive option for yourself that may end up getting predicted, confirmed by your opponent, and you might just get grabbed anyways, and you can die for it. This is a key example. And I've seen Jigglypuff get really, really decent at the game really fast, and then they struggle with this concept of like, hey, how do I increase my survivability to where I'm not going to last stock with these foxes that are up throw, up airing me at 53 anymore, right? How do I structure what I'm going to do in such a way that all of these close games that I'm having with people just aren't as close anymore? And the answer is, if you're having close sets with gold or platinum level players, Spaceys, Marth, other Jigglypuffs, etc., if you're having really close sets with them, I would highly recommend, in fact, I would almost mandate, I would say, that you start to examine your survivability as the core thing you do to try and improve. Everybody can get basic movement down, everybody can get basic punishes down, but survivability is the neutral tactic that will take you the furthest, in my opinion. And this is true of a lot of different puffs. If you watch SGJ play, they will actually go through the motions of setting up situations that make their opponents think that they're safe to do something that might guarantee a kill. But what they end up doing instead is they end up putting them in a situation where they can read something that the opponent's going to do, not hard read. But I'm confident that the opponent is going to do this thing because they've indicated to me previously that this is how they play the game. I'm going to throw out a move that's going to guarantee that I get the kill in that circumstance and that they don't get a kill as a result if I mess up. This is the core foundation of Jigglypuff. It's really the core foundation of every character, but it's especially true of Puff. That 53% is one example. Let's consider another example. This is probably the most important top tier example I can think of besides up throw up air from Fox. It's Marth grabbing you. Marths want to grab you. They want to grab everybody, but they really want to grab you. Learning to pivot tipper is something that every gold leaguer will actually know how to do. Believe it or not, they will be able to pivot tipper, and you will get bodied by it regularly if you get grabbed. If you're watching your games against Marth as Jigglypuff and you're getting grabbed a lot, you need to identify where in the pattern the Marth is thinking to themselves, hey, I think they're going to do this. I'm going to try to grab it. If I miss, it's not great for me. I might die. But if I get it, this Puff is dying. And it's harder for the Puff to react than it is for me to guess in this circumstance. And so the Marth can do all kinds of things. If they have a read, a perfect read on how you like to land, or how you like to move around on the ground, or how you like to crouch, when you like to crouch, and when you like to spot dodge, they'll grab you every time. And so you need to be able to examine, why is a Marth grabbing me? When are they grabbing me? How are they grabbing me? How can I avoid that? Crouch, spot dodge, all those things that I just said, those aren't bad options to do. But if you only do them in certain spots, if you only do them in certain variations, you're going to fall apart really quickly. And this is part of the risk-reward analysis for playing the game and for playing the character of Jigglypuff. You have to be able to understand that I can't react to everything Marth does in these circumstances. I have to read what the Marth is going to do. If the Marth is jumping at certain moments to throw out an aerial, you need to beat him there and hit him before he hits you. Importantly, if he's going for grabs at certain moments. You need to spot dodge, and then you need to kill him. And this only comes through analysis. It really only comes through analysis, and it really only comes through really understanding fundamental pieces of why you are dying at certain moments. If you know why you're getting grabbed against Marth, you know why you're dying. You can avoid that. You can live quite a bit longer. You can live to 180 sometimes versus Marth if you're good at avoiding his grabs at around 53 to 90, right? If you avoid Marth's grab until you're at 100%, he's not killing you until you're at 145. It's a lot of time. It's a lot of time for your punishes, your simple and maybe your more complex edge guards to start to kick in and inch further and further ahead. Getting time as Puff is actually kind of hard. In some ways, people think it's easy for Puff to find time. She's only good at finding time when she's not dying at 53% against Fox or dying at 60 to Marth, right? If you're dying early, you are losing time and you are losing your presence as one of the best characters in the game. You're just kind of a bad character at that point. I'll be real with you. It doesn't matter that you can RTC Res Sheik perfectly on Yoshi's. If you're dying because you're getting grabbed in specific moments, yeah, your punish game might outpace some Sheiks, but against the better Sheiks that have better neutral than you, they'll win neutral more than you, and you will lose that match. That's not going to feel good. The emphasis that I want to put here for myself, since that is ultimately why I'm making these videos, are for myself, but also for anybody listening who plays Puff. You have to learn how these risk rewards work. I have to learn how these risk rewards work because I'm good at some of them, but I'm still learning, still growing. I've been playing this game for 18 years competitively. My first tournament was in 2007. I was wave dashing in 06. I have so much to learn at this game still. Played Marth and Fox for a while, and I think ultimately, after 2 years of playing Puff, I can say with absolute certainty that this is the most important aspect of our entire gameplay strategy. And learning how to move first is perfect. Learning simple punishes is great to start. You can get all that from the Kira video. You can get all that from a million different videos on YouTube. I don't care about that. I'm not going to outline all that stuff. You can easily go find that stuff. The Kira video, even though it's very old, is still relevant. Go watch that if you want to learn basic rest setups and basic movement options. All very good stuff. What I'm going to suggest you do in addition to that, if you're starting the character up, is be mindful of survivability. That's going to be the first neutral tool that you're going to have to figure out. That's super important. Anyways, I've repeated myself a bunch here. There's a lot I've yet to talk about, but I'm going to do my best to talk about it, do my best to make a couple of resources for Jigglypuffs playing Melee, and we'll see where I land. We'll see if people even like this stuff. We'll see if I'm even right. God, I could be wrong and speaking into the void incorrectly, and God, wouldn't that just suck? But this is a start. Something hopefully lovely will come of this. So, hope you all have a great day. Talk to you again soon.